said, boom. You know, I'm up in this bitch and I'm live, right? Yeah, I'm up in this bitch. I'm up in the live, bitch. Yeah. Man, we'll never be able to win as long as we allow liars to control our minds, man. Well, I guess I don't want. I'm good. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Cause shit is too stupid and crazy around this bitch for a nigga to allow motherfuckers to keep pushing the goal line. Change shit to fit narratives. Just on my every 3 or 4 years they change shit and they changing shit and they changing shit right before our eyes, and we still allow these people to. Man, it's okay for your kids to go to school and get their A's, but you gotta put your children on real shit, bro. And we gonna stay lost in the sauce forever. Homeschool. Some of these little motherfuckers, the rich kids don't even have to go to school, none of this shit, but they own everything, man. Shit crazy. Shit crazy. Shit wicked. This shit is wicked, bro. I'm like, my head about to bust for real, man. I'm mad as fuck right now. Cause I know how I research and how I found out certain things. Now I gotta go and wrestle with Google and wrestle with AI. Because they hiding and restacking books just like I told you they would when I first came. Before I first came over into this community, man. First thing I was telling people, man, they gonna have to restack all these books because they time up. The Bible history was up. They was busted. They represent and love a constellation in the sky that only occurs every 7,000 years, and they haven't been in power long enough to even be having an observatory to even understand the development of the thought of these constellations, bro. They piggybacking off your shit and changing your own shit on you, man, with the help of that North Pole that sits in the east. How the fuck the North Pole sits far east? It's about just simple shit, man. How the fuck do you educate motherfuckers with a tool that says not for educational purposes? How we continue to, man, come on, bro. I know I was telling y'all not too long ago about the water shafts and shit that was up under those pyramids. And how I said, shit, water got to have something to do with conducting energy. My common sense told me that. So I went and found some articles and shit and read them. I used to read them on live, but they took the time. So I used to gain knowledge on live. I'm like the dumbest motherfucker on YouTube, but I'm willing to be dumb right there on live and learn right in front of everybody. Oh, I ain't know this. Oh, look at this. I taught myself all this shit right here on live, looking it up on live. Same way I do now. Ain't no scripts, ain't none of that come on this bitch. It's just like if my mind go to something, I'm gonna go right up in that bitch and look it up right here on live. And a lot of this shit they trying to tell me, I go, if this is no, AI just regular saying no, but all I gotta do is just dig a little deeper and bitch, shut the fuck up. They got this shit put in place to keep motherfuckers brainwashed. Fuck AI, man. Now I go in this motherfucker and ask this bitch about petroleum companies, cause I asked these questions because this is where I learned this shit from. That's why the fuck, look at this shit. No, an artificial sun is not that shit. This shit right here. I want to look up the K-Star shit. See, I want to look up the K-Star shit because I got this when I looked up. When I knew China had an artificial sun years back when I was in prison. I already know this shit. So I go look it up the other day and they said something about Korea having an artificial sun of its own. They called K-Star. And I looked this shit up. Right here. So how can you have all this kind of shit if you're not storing solar energy, man? See, this is dumb shit. Now I go right over here and ask this motherfucker, do petroleum companies store or harvest solar energy? And the first thing this bitch said, no, not all oil companies, not all oil and petroleum petroleum companies harvest and store. Fuck that shit. Fuck you mean no? Answer yes, motherfucker. Not all. I ain't asking that all of them do it, bitch. Which one you talking about? Because the one I was talking about is BP, ho. This how I learned all this shit, bro. And this nigga, this tool here, I don't even like dealing with this motherfucker. I'm gonna trip that bitch up every chance I get. I said these hoes storing solar energy. But these the same motherfuckers that the sun and solar energy fucks around in the game. It's called melanoma. Now melanin is not the most dominant gene. But you motherfuckers been getting melanoma from the sun. As far as I can remember, they changing all this shit up to distort information for your kids. That's why it's important for you to goddamn know your shit. And even if your kids do go to public school, you still homeschool and talk to them and keep them right. Yeah, and keep them away from this imaginary ass world, bro. Because all this shit fake. That's a whole sole purpose of 3GD, the deceptions of the world. Globe, God, and gravity. That's my shit. Petroleum companies harvest and store solar energy, while many major companies are increasing investments in renewable energy. I know that's real, including solar. Their approach and commitment vary significantly based on regional and political dynamics, as well as economic factors. European companies generally have larger solar divisions than American ones. Really? European versus American majors. European oil and gas majors like Shell, BP, and Total Energies have invested significantly in solar and other renewable, creating major clean energy divisions. American companies such as Exxon, the double cross, ExxonMobil, Chevron, who is Chevron? That's used to the Chevron sound right in the front of those goddamn people. Yeah, have historically been more prioritizing. Yo, man. I said I named this video, They Took Your God. Yeah, they took your God. It was once a common misconception, particularly in the United States, that genes are darker or melanated skin were dominant over genes of lighter skin. What the fuck you mean? We've been knowing that the melanated gene is a dominant gene for I don't know how many years. What the fuck is this bitch talking about? What is this deception, this deceiving, this distortion? What the fuck? How the facts, you know what I'm talking about? No, the ancient language of the Western world was not a single Semitic language. Man, I dove in so deep to this shit, these motherfuckers just too much. Can't beat these hoes, man. Can't beat these bitches. The natural source, the one source model, the one word model is source. The source of all energy gotta be the sun, because the sun was brain life. You might as well say these motherfuckers got artificial gods. These motherfuckers that took God, put the white boy in front of the God and said he's the light of the world. This is just for the Negroes though. This is just for the Americans. You see how they distinguish between America and Europeans, and who own America is the Englishmen, the Northmen on. See, but you motherfuckers won't even lay this bitch down and look at the corners of the earth. You motherfuckers would not even attempt to lay this shit down the way you walk upon the earth. We walk down hills and up hills every day. But motherfuckers, when a nigga say, The earth flat. You think a nigga think the whole surface of the earth supposed to be flat down like some kind of fucking cartoon or some shit. Like we saying ain't no mountains and ain't no ditches and ain't no canyons and shit. No. That's why I don't even say flat earth. I say flat water. That's why I changed my shit to flat water, water flat. Ain't no boat sitting down, no motherfucking water. There ain't no boat sitting up, no motherfucking water. Ain't no boat sideways on no imaginary equator floating sideways and shit on no fucking water. Water flat. Water flat. So fuck smart flat earth, nigga. Flat water, nigga. That water. When are you gonna get a boat to goddamn go uphill? When a boat gonna go downhill with that motherfucking everything in the boat falling to the front? And then niggas will goddamn go down the boat. Well, you know that was gravity coming in there and it holds everything. Why I ain't holding that shit? Why it's shaking and rocking? You mean to tell me gravity ain't gonna stop the motherfucking shit from shaking and rocking and the cooler moving around in the boat? But when that bitch go to getting goddamn, when it's supposed to be going down at a downward angle, all of a sudden gravity gonna hold the cooler from sliding to the front of the goddamn boat? I don't think so, man. And it's so ridiculous, bro. You send your motherfucking kids out here to goddamn learn this shit. And you damn near got to beat this shit back up out of them. This is K-STAR. It is an acronym for multiple organizations and projects, most notably the K-STAR, Korean Superconducting Tokamak Advanced Research Fusion device in South Korea, a significant scientific research project. It can also be referred to as K-STAR, Knowledge, Skills, Training, Assessment, and Research for physicians, are a global provider of solar and energy storage solutions. They storing solar energy, nigga. This how they storing solar energy. They trying to come up with any kind of way to motherfucking. Y'all figure it out. Depending on context. It may also refer to the K-STAR Assessment Management, a real estate credit service company, or K-STAR, a company selling K-pop merchandise. Nah, we got the first one, Korea. Fusion Research. What it is a superconducting tokamak, a type of magnetic fusion device located in Daejeon, South Korea. They want your son to bleed, bro. They trying to kill your God, bro. They trying to figure out some kind of way to eliminate something that would never be eliminated. It would never be a doomsday. It would never be an end to this shit, bro. Until that sun wink or blink, everything is all Gucci. This shit infinite. This shit is infinite. And the God of this motherfucker is the sun. That melanated disc that you see inside that sun. Don't you look at that sun, you're gonna go blind. I ain't blind yet. And I see that disc every time I look up there at that bitch. I see that disc every time I look up there at that bitch. Real talk. Real talk. Yes, China has an artificial sun, a nuclear fusion reactor called. I thought these nuclear reactors supposed to be so dangerous to the world and want to blow up shit. This is shit they own. They trying to figure out a way to defeat the sun, to get farther enough away from the sun where it doesn't affect them. That's why they use chemtrails and all that shit. Plasma, they use your plasma to try to block the motherfucking rays of the sun. I ain't got to go into all these motherfucking 259H.0. I know what it is. They using this shit to distort the motherfucking frequencies and the energy and UV rays and frequencies of the motherfucking sun because it's dangerous and harmful for them because they out of place on the motherfucking earth. They out of place. The Norsemen know they out of place. And then you got the Eastern Slavics that are truly Norsemen. But they caught up on when they come up out of the mountain, they come up on the wrong continent, they caught up on the same continent as Asia. All of them came out the mountains. The melanated people had the lands and got the lands and got these niggas on our lands dictating our every movement. As they try to figure out how could they become sufficient people up under the sun, man. You got some of them don't give a fuck. They'll just get some artificial melanin and look like they black. They don't give a fuck. But some of these motherfuckers still hate the motherfucking nigga, man. And them the elite. And the elite is trying to figure out how they can take over the motherfucking world. The first thing they got to do is take over the power source. Well, yeah, that's the first stage of war, is taking over the power source. So they know they got to take over the power source. That's why they wrote you to sleep and say the power source is Jesus. Because instead of the sun being the light of the world, Jesus becomes the light of the world in your mind, in your imaginary mind. Because they giving you all kind of imaginary shit, just like the equator. Everything imaginary. Everything. If the equator imaginary, the water ball imaginary. If the white boy imaginary, your religion imaginary. Because you praying to the wrong shit. The sun is the motherfucking God, man. The sun is the light of the world, bro. The sun supply energy and power to everything within the solar system and the earth. The sun is life. The sun is the creator. Well, how did the sun get there? Nigga don't nobody know, and you ain't gonna be able to figure it out. So who the fuck listen to who? Anybody that listen to a motherfucker that's trying to tell a motherfucker how the sun got there, you gotta be out your goddamn mind in the first place. Trying to explain the unexplainable, nigga. That's the mystery for your ass. That's where Amen come in. The unseen presence. That's the feeling of thanks that you have, gratitude that you have to want to show your appreciation to something that you don't even know to give it to. That's the mystery. Who should I thank? Who should I be grateful to? How did that sun get there? I don't know. But that's it in its physical form. He's called Ra. That's why the craft was Amen Ra. But these niggas on this sacrificial, Masonic, blood drinking, all kind of shit, fucking with these people, man. This shit crazy, bro. And motherfuckers still don't get it. They done made Nikola Tesla be making a doomsday. They done took all the food from you, all the seed from you, talking about they gonna hold this shit to doomsday. They got your shit locked up in a doomsday seed vault. Shit crazy, bro. So, boy, I'm like, goddamn, what that girl name is, made that goddamn, that shit. I'm all cried out, nigga, I'm all cried out, man. This shit got so ridiculous now, man. This shit is ridiculous, bro. I'm all cried out, bro. Then they'll sit right up there and say some crazy shit. Bitch, knowing that ain't what I said, bitch. Bitch, and I just said go back or do the fuck seed vault, bitch. You know what I said? Okay, then. Let's see it. There you go. Why I spelled that SV? You see that Slavic Russian type language? That's flock, block, global seed part. Block, flat, block, bart. global seed vault. Hmm? Hmm? What you niggas talking about? Walk on up there, see you talking. Look at that flat ass water back there. Look at that flat ass water back there. Look at that flat ass water back there. Look at that. Always gonna be flat. Hmm? But look at this. Svalbard global seed vault. Yeah, global. That's how they hit you with the global shit. Shit global, nigga. The seed vault safeguards duplicates of 1,301,397 seed samples from almost every country globally, with room for millions more. Its purpose is to back up gene bank collections to secure the foundation of our future food supply. So they take all the natural seeds known to the earth and lock them in this seed vault for the day they hope to replenish this motherfucker with the motherfucking clean energy that they stealing from your God, from the sun. They got to clean the energy, the solar energy. They got to clean it so it won't be harmful to them, because the natural sun is harmful to these people, bro. But then at the same time, you got Santos, Monsanto's, and you got Cash and Carry that's really owned by the entities of Japan that's feeding you artificial, genetically modified foods and been doing it for so long now to you niggas don't even get no fuck what these folks trying to do. They even took Nikola Tesla shit and started, he didn't tap back into what the ancients already knew about generating energy and showing how people supposed to be able to live on this motherfucker and tap into energy sources and have energy, lights, electricity, all this shit. And they take it and make it seem like he's trying to goddamn destroy the world with one ball. And take that concept and been putting fear into you for far too long. And with that fake ass shit, you go deeper into debt of the people who got their steering wheel and your elite back. These people that you look at that and think they're wealthy and all that shit, look how they finna do these little black motherfuckers who call themselves. They finna take all their wealth back. They finna take all their wealth back. They already take all the wealth back. I do it, pay attention. And behind that shit, we owe Japan over $1.1 trillion right now. But you don't think you U.S. collateral. The collateral that you're going to keep working and doing the fuck you're supposed to do so these people can keep sending these people shipments of body parts, organ, or whatever else fuck else they want from over here. These people control your military. All these fake ass wars, man, this shit is scripted. This shit crazy, bro. The seed vault provides long-term storage for duplicate seeds from, ain't no duplicate seeds, you got the natural seeds. Does the United States have a seed vault? Let's see. Yes, the United States has sufficient seed vault known as the National Laboratory of Genetic Resources Preservation, NLGRP, in Fort Collins, Colorado. Oh, out there in Colorado, out there in that desert again, huh? What seeds are in the Doomsday Vault? The largest number of accessions stored in the seed vault are varieties of rice, wheat, and barley crops. Yeah. So why we got to eat GMO? Yes, these are global seed vaults that act and bag up across diversity, with the most famous being the Spar Global Seed Ball in Norway. Oh shit! I was talking about the one in Alaska. Oh, this the Norseman shit, huh? Anytime you see them the Norsemen, the people out of the north corner of the earth, the ones that own you. The reason why they call you North America. In the belly of the beast, I'm gonna say it every time I say that shit. Until you niggas get this shit. Until you niggas get it. And the first thing motherfuckers gonna have to do is lay this motherfucking platform down. Take this top view that they put in your head and turn it into a sphere and tilt it and spin it. Lay this motherfucker down so we can play ball. We playing on a half a court. They playing on our half of the court. Can't see they have a court. They only goddamn let you go so far. But the North Pole is out there in the Middle East. Why you keep saying that? All you gotta do is look at this shit. All you gotta do is look at this shit. All you gotta do is look at this shit. Go back. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay. I got to do. Okay. 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 Boom. 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 Now this one right here got the mode. They probably the backside. Why that bitch jump? What the fuck they got going on right there? So at night, what the fuck they got going on right there? Why it's they might get the fuck out of there. There it is right there. The Earth axis right there. Let's blow this up. Let's see what this say. That a 23.44 tilt, the Masonic tilt. See it? North Celestial Pole. Oh man. So since you think you going up, and they use that shit so smooth on your ass to the point you think north is up instead of in this left hand cone over here. See, I'm gonna show you what north at. See this north over here, in this corner over here, this is north. And see down here, where South America is this at. See, this corner that'd be south, and then Africa over here be west. And see, and this corner over here be east. But see, you think north go, all they gotta do is say north, you think up over your head and all that shit. But that's the east. Now let's look at the X. Once you lay this bitch back down and tilt that bitch with that line to be perfect like that line you see right there. You see that line going straight down the middle right there? If that's the axis, that ought to be the true axis, but they tilted, huh? They tilt that motherfucker, huh? What up, Miss Lady Scoop? Huh? So they tilt that bitch, huh? So once they tilt that bitch on that 23.44 Masonic tilt, guess what happened? This motherfucking North Pole sits in the motherfucking east. Where that ass at? Huh? Let's go back. I'm so tired, bro. I'm so tired. Watch it right now. Yeah, I'm gonna show you how they unite. The union of these motherfuckers. The North and the East. The secret relationship between the Japs and the Brits, nigga. Fuck, we all goddamn Japan over $1.1 trillion in the debt, only gonna grow and grow and grow and grow. Bring this shit up, cause this all the continents. If you name all the continents, we know Antarctica is one of the continents, and Antarctica sit at the tip of this motherfucker. I'm gonna show you where Antarctica sit. Right over here. This is Antarctica. The tip, that's South America right there. You see that's South America. And the tip of South America is the closest thing you got to Antarctica, and that'll be the South. That'll be the South, what they call the South Pole. So the South Pole sit where? Where the South Pole sit, y'all? In the motherfucking West. Huh? You see all these motherfucking lands up here? We looked that shit up. They said this motherfucker Australian shit way over here. So would they bend that bitch down and make that motherfucker? They got a lot of explaining to do, bro. All these lands up here. Look at all this shit. Cause all that, man, I told you, Italy sitting right around that pole. That's 33. The bulls out of the middle of this motherfucker. So now let's go back. Go back to what I just had up that bitch. Go back to what I just had up there. Like this. So when they tilt that bitch, look where the bitch go. Look what it, Go back to the other one. Go back to the other one, bitch. Right there. What they say? North Pole. Then why the land masses and shit change every time? Every time you look at why it change, look. It's a South Pole. You see South Pole right there? But it's the West, nigga. Ain't nobody going up and down no motherfucking water, nigga. It's the West. We the West Indies, nigga. We the West Indies. And so the North Pole sitting well in the East, and that's who controlling the world. The motherfucker at the North Pole. That's why when you go to the North Pole and they tell you nothing but scientists can go there, and no one has ever reached the North Pole, and they say the same thing about this down here. But this your ice on this Antarctica belongs to the niggas. That's our ice, and it sits behind us, not below us. Cause ain't no way Admiral Byrd could have flew over the top and the bottom of this ball. You got to fly over and under this motherfucker, nigga. You got to fly under the South Pole, bitch. How you gonna fly over the South Pole if the bitch ain't flat? How you gonna fly over the Southern Pole if it ain't flat? How you gonna fly? You gotta fly under this motherfucker, and then you gotta use some cameras to goddamn look up at this motherfucker once you flying under this bitch. Are you gonna flip the plane upside down or something? To land down under. Huh? So them motherfucking Mongolians over there in that motherfucking East, they're running the pole. That's the leaders of technology. They got you in trillions of dollars worth of debt, and then their little babies, the Koreans and the motherfucking goddamn Chinamans and all, they got your ass in debt too. You owe them hundreds of millions of dollars. The fuck? Sit right over there in the East. What's in the East, huh? Asia, the continent of Asia. This shit separates, bro. And come on, Afro-Asiatic, trying to mix Africa with Asia, and got your motherfucking ass talking about you Afro-Asiatic and you love Asian and Asian, man. Asia is not Africa. Africa is not Asia. Even when we go over there and look at that motherfucker over there, Oceania, why I call them at that tour. Let's look at the Torres Strait, cause that's the next thing I gotta do. I gotta go work tomorrow. I got a job. I can't afford to do this shit like I used to do. I used to be able to just sit on this bitch all day and just goddamn look shit up and just show y'all this shit. I said Taurus. I ain't saying nothing about no Drake. You got a Drake patches though, but that ain't what I'm talking about. Just let me type it in, cause y'all act like y'all can't understand the country, nigga. Bitch. Look what they name the sea. But they gotta connect this bitch back to the motherfucking Atlantic and come from the back way to the Indian Ocean. They gotta do this, cause this they shit. Straight. Let's look at this motherfucker. So what oceans is connected to? Okay, the Torres Strait. See now you gonna have to goddamn explain. Now you gonna have to explain how Gwenny is on both sides of this bitch. What waters? The Torres Strait. What oceans connect? Cause they got some shit called Africa. What up, down to what up, bro? What oceans connect? What oceans connect? Ain't gonna show you. I gotta show you. I had the other day. There it is. The Arab, Fura. It sound like they still trying to put Arabs with Africa, Arafara Sea. I just be playing with it, the Arafara Sea. But that shit still got the Arafara Sea, part of the Western Pacific. The Western Pacific. And the Coral Sea also a part of the Pacific Ocean. The Western Pacific. God, they told you Christopher Columbus sailed west. I'm showing y'all, they showing y'all the axis and showing y'all how that nigga sailed west. Lay that bitch flat and do what you gotta do. He sailed up out the motherfucking Spain where they was spying. And they had the motherfucking northern Africans on their side until they got their ass ate up over there. Cause that's the only way you gonna get rid of some niggas that eat them up. If it was some Canaanites, the goddamn the Bible told you goddamn go through there and kill every last one of the niggas that was over there. So if it was original Canaanites over there, goddamn Israel that just became recognized as a state by the United States in the damn 1940s, if that was the original Holy Land, it should belong to those motherfucking Ethiopians that you brainwashed and made to convert. If you can tell me about, if Islam can tell me about millions and millions of years ago, they should be able to explain to me why the fuck, if it was already in the land, why would the Ethiopian have to convert and become Semitic up under a man named Shem in their book? Because according to the book, we gonna forever, just like we are now, we are forever in debt to these people, and that debt is only gonna grow, and they're making their book come reality. You gonna forever be a slave to Japheth and Shem. Who is that? The Eurasians. That's why when you look at the motherfucker, let's go look at this. That's why when you go look at this shit right here. I want a Pacific one. I want to look at that shit. Cause they gonna show you Eurasia already on both sides. Show some more images. Come on now, you ain't that slow. When they show this shit, they show you Eurasia already got you surrounded when they show this shit to you. And they tell you that they dug hundreds of feet from mountain in the mountains going to get resources out those mountains, but they would never show you them digging from surface level. From the level of surface level is sea level. Above sea level, below sea level. Sea level is what we live at. Some people goddamn got blessed enough to have land that sits a little bit up on the sea level, shit like that, but it stays dry. Yeah, sea level. They ain't dug into the earth's surface no farther than 8 miles. So how the fuck can they tell you about some tectonic plates and some continental motherfucking separation of continental separation of land masses? Man, y'all know I'm looking for a Pacific one. They ain't gonna show it. Did I hit images? Yeah. Eurasia already gonna run the motherfucking word. They already got you. Let's watch this right here. They might be able to change this shit. They might be able to change this shit. Humans have dug to a maximum depth of 12.262 meters. 4,000. They're trying to make it be using feet and shit. How many miles, bitch? Man, nah, let me do miles. Fuck all that shit. Let me do miles. How many miles have we dug into the Earth's surface? They do it like that. 7.6. I give them 9. See what I'm talking about? I give them 9. I get it, bitches 9. Humans have dug approximately 7.6 to 8 miles. Now they use the kilometers. That's why they want to use kilometers, throw it all out, make it seem like they done dug somewhere. So how the fuck can you tell me about separate the earth, the continent separate? Nah, y'all bombed the land, nigga, and separated melanated people and turned us against each other. You turn the Africans against the goddamn homeland. The real motherfucking holy land is over here, nigga. The West Indies, all you bitches had to come into cahoots up on us, man. The West Indies, North America is the West, nigga. North America, y'all say y'all Aboriginals, so understand y'all West Indians, nigga. Where the West at? Y'all keep saying y'all West Indies, y'all West Indians, so when you gonna lay this bitch down to understand where the West at? And that the North is next door to you, and goddamn North America has been usurped into the belly of the beast. Who's the beast? The Norsemen, the Sasquatches, the Bigfoot, the Neanderthal, the North, nigga, Canadian, Brit, the one that sit next door and not up over your motherfucking head. Not up over your motherfucking head like on this water ball. So if they ain't dug into the earth's surface number, goddamn, that shit up now. They ain't dug into the earth's surface number 8 miles. How the fuck can they tell you about the continent separating and all this bullshit? See, all the fake. I made A's in school. I got my A. The fuck? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. They showing you, they telling you the West, the belly of the motherfucking beast there, the North there. The West and the South. This how you was usurped, bro. Y'all, you nigga be using these words, but goddamn, when they go see what they mean, usurp. You can do it in the Bible. I don't give a fuck. Do it in the Bible. I'd rather have the Bible definitely there. A biblical context, to usurp means to unlawfully and forcefully seize and hold a position of power. They took your power when they took the sun. The sun is the power. I gotta let Sanchez break this shit down by this shit tonight. I'm gonna go down and run this shit again before it get too late, right? Position of power, authority, or a role that belongs to another person or entity, particularly one established by God. What? This concept appears in stories like Korah, Rebellion, and the King. We don't want the Bible definition no more. Fuck Bible definition. The definition of usurp. We ain't gotta use the Bible. Cause y'all, I don't want anybody to get mad. Usurp. Take a position of power or importance unlawfully or by force. That sound like what they did in Egypt, right? Took thrones from the people who had already established their government up over that bitch by force. So what usurp me? How these lands were usurped by them making and establishing this globe shit and twisting that bitch. And when they put that little Masonic tilt on it at a 23.44 tilt on that bitch, guess what get fucked up? The northern part of the West Indies, which will be North America, you get usurped up into the belly of the beast. They done slid you all the way across the falls. You got a Niagara side and a Canadian side to these falls. I mean, what Kai? I need a whole motherfucker. Not Kai, I need Cherry over on that goddamn corner when I bust this shit up. Cause we on the corners, we on the true corners. You know how you fold a goddamn chessboard or a checkerboard or a Monopoly board, how you fold it up? And they got it standing up. Lay it on down. Cause we right there at the corners. Y'all on our side, we need y'all to lay y'all side on down so we can see the whole board. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Take the place of someone in a position of power unlawfully, supplant, encroach, or infringe upon someone's right the church had usurped upon the domain of the state. Who did? The church. Who? Why you think the East allow the North to write all these stories and connect themselves to a book that they know nothing of? and then rewrite it and end the world with the water and form this ball. Why you think they let them do that? Because they know in the end they got to goddamn break down and come back to the beginning of the story they already wrote in their synagogue that Moses said. Who is Moses? The dude with the horns and shit. The motherfuckers was born with tails and shit. The motherfucker that been running from the sun ever since their existence of trying to come. They was good until they started coming over here. Not down here, over here. And then guess what else get usurped once you tilt that bitch with that Masonic tilt? Guess what else get usurped? The northern part of the South. Where's the South? Africa, the corner of Africa over there. And so the northern part of the South get usurped and they call it the Middle East. Why we ain't got no goddamn why the South ain't got no true South? Magnetic South. And then I'm showing you they south and they south pole and they north pole is really in the west and the east. Huh? Why the west ain't got no middle west? Why these only two people got to have a middle east and a far east and a true north and a north and a magnetic north? Why these two people don't want to play? Cause they don't want to play. And we don't even know how to play no more. The only thing we know how to do is just goddamn believe. Anything these bitches come out with, that's the definition of usurp. These lands been usurped, man. I got to bring that brick clip to y'all, man. I got to bring that brick clip to you. But I got to go, man. I can't sit on this bitch like I used to. When I get it on my heart to say some shit, I'm just going to come on the bitch and say some shit and get on out the way, man. Cause they pushing the goal line thing. They pushing the goal line too far. You'll never reach the goal line with these motherfuckers. As long as you allow them to change shit. You see what they got going on? Water is a great conductor of energy. Also plasma. And they've been trying to they've been doing bacteria research. Bill Gates had that shit going on when all them niggas out there in the middle of the street talking about Nipsey Hussle. They were running goddamn, I showed y'all they were running goddamn bullshit on you then. Experiments and shit. I gotta go find my nigga, man. Cause he was breaking some shit down. And I don't know why when I got there and wake back up, it be some bullshit with my video. I don't talk to them but two people. Two people and they still don't want me to say what the fuck I gotta say. Right here. The power of creation haters. Let's go. I fell asleep on that bitch. I hear myself snoring that bitch. Oh shit, hold on. I gotta get it. This boy was at some point when he was talking about, I gotta see. When did
they lose the knowledge that was embodied in these?
Y'all want to listen to the whole thing? Y'all listen, I just want to get to
when they said let there be light.
I just want to hear one part for real. I just want to hear one part when he was talking about the establishment of the government and hey man, my boy went hard on this motherfucker.
Corn, sheep, goats, and lambs are all part of the Capernaum family or the same.
Pan. Yeah, well, let me go find Pan ass. Cause niggas think it's a goddamn game, and I be trying to show them this ain't no goddamn game. Cause y'all niggas let these whole call you ghosts and think that supposed to mean that you a fly ass nigga and shit. Go and make shit for video sake. Put this up though. Ancient carvings. Let me go. I should have said ancient carvings of goddamn. I ain't gotta say ancient carvings. See, this is the Masonic system right here. This all you niggas that want to go down there and become part of the Masonic order and to my going down to the lodge and riding goats. This what you're representing right here, nigga. Yeah, you the greatest of all time, nigga. You the greatest of all time. These niggas born with hugs and tails and shit. Yeah, they love the goat. Yeah, they love the goat. Yeah, these goat fuckers. These niggas, and then the Arab, he'll turn around and tell you, he like to fuck the sheep, because the sheep got a goddamn period like a woman. It bleed. Yeah, that way. I ain't no motherfucking goat, man. And you see this all in the artwork. They sculpted this shit. This what they do. This what they do. This what they do. Born with hoes. Had to get the chair removed. All that. That shit crazy. Got to go to now. This who these folks is, man. This who these folks is, man. Look at pain. That's pain now. You know what come out of that? The Baphomet. That's what the Baphomet got? Okay. Well, I got them niggas. I just had to throw that in there to put goddamn for lies' sake. To show you who these people is. Huh? Alright, see, I know we might watch it right on. That way. Show these folks. I don't want to show the image of this shit. Y'all got it now. Y'all, there we go. This is what they do. This what they do. They didn't want to come and turn around and say, what the nigga doing? Sucking their baby wee-wee? Huh? This what they do? Suck the baby wee-wee? Huh? Y'all still gonna follow y'all. These motherfuckers got control over them bitches over there, over here in the north. They got their foot of steering wheel and all back. This what they do, suck the baby wee-wee? Y'all make this shit make sense, man. Goddamn Judy. Let me go let Sanchez run these niggas down, man. My nigga run these niggas down. There you go. There you go.
Ether. The turning of the ether happens at the North Pole, which shapes like a hammer. I'll show you some more pictures of that in a second.
China.
Here it is here.
All right, I just want to go right up in here. You're all right.
The knowledge of how to generate energy was common knowledge, but it was
That's what I want to talk about. The knowledge of generating image was common knowledge. Everybody know how to generate this image. And Tesla had jumped back up into a Nikola Tesla, what will become nuclear Tesla. The nuclear bomb will come from the paperwork of Nikola, because they gonna goddamn put fear into you. Like, see, they had the motherfucking for Nikola Tesla because his nephew was down with motherfucking that nigga Hitler. And Hitler was gonna goddamn get his hands on this shit before they get their hands on this shit. So they had to knock him off in that Manhattan hotel where they knocked him off at. Where they had been running that hotel off free energy. Not no nuclear weapons, nothing to blow that up. They had been running that hotel off free energy in the blueprints of Tesla. The basement and the first floor was all his technology, free energy. And Hitler was gonna get a hold of that before them, cause Nikola Tesla nephew was gonna be his inheritance. He gonna get his inheritance. He gonna get that he be down with Hitler. So they had to stop that. And when they stopped that, they installed this fear of something about a goddamn death ray and nuclear bombs. Then they ran the script about a nigga dropping a nuclear bomb on Japan, and we've been going deeper and deeper in debt to these folks ever since for some fake ass nuclear bombs that don't even exist. Do you hear me? Do you smell me? Do you see me? Sanchez, y'all some real shit. Sanchez, shout out to my nigga Sanchez, Belson, Alabama. I'm up in this bitch. That nigga Tom, feel them nigga flat out discussing them in his hole.
group of people rising up that was saying it shouldn't be common knowledge, meaning this kind of knowledge of how to tap into the ether should be controlled by the most powerful men, meaning there was a changing of law on the earth where you got to get your power through the gods now. And that the knowledge of how to power your own village is forbidden for you and only worthy for a few men. This what happened in Egypt. They call themselves civilizing the earth by creating an economy based upon creating peasants through ignorance. So we'll dumb them down because you don't need to know all of this knowledge of how to generate energy. We'll create the energy. We'll create some money so you can buy the energy from us. So the money became the new currency to power the city, to power the economy, whereas the knowledge itself used to be the currency. Instead of spreading dollars around, the ancestors spreaded knowledge around. It wasn't no money. The knowledge was power. Today, money is power. That is a medium in between you and knowledge. That's why the rich people know the secrets and the poor people don't, because it's monopolized now. Who can know the secrets or not of our true reality, you see? And that's just sad. You know, we don't know what we are, where we are, how we gonna know who we are, and even connect to the Creator if they're hiding the knowledge of the creation to us, from us. Let me show you something real.
Hide the knowledge of what? Hide the knowledge of the sun. Hide the knowledge of the sun to us. They done took your son, they done took your God, and got you running, weaving around and following a white man into wonder, talking about wishing upon stars and all this shit. This nigga don't even know what a star is. I'm trying to tell you.
Quick, let me show you something. Hold on. Here. Look. In Christian art and propaganda, what you grew up seeing was a Bible open with the light coming out. And they was telling you basically this is book of life art. They opened the Bible at the middle, and the book of life used to be the earth before they created religion. Alright, so the sacred geometry in front of you shows you true power comes from the knowledge of cosmology, ancient cosmology. Because when you understand the true cosmology of the earth, you can power your village. That's why they want to give you the space program in the day. They don't want you to literally empower yourself. Your concept of power is so dumbed down, you think power is pride. But all of your pride ain't gave you power yet, have it, idiot. Right. Now look at the pictures in front of you, because in the bottom right corner, that's Mayan spiritual art showing you how those pyramids would have been used, how the energy would have been recycling around it. So if I showed you the image on the right, and I talk that to the people, they'll say, bro, Sanchez giving us that pseudoscience, but it's a white man about to get rich off that shit. Here he is right here. You think your ancestors' art and knowledge is pseudoscience, and you give so much knowledge to the modern scientists, and if they show you this, you're going to be sucking them off. But if I show you the ancient interpretation that the ancients know about it, you just can't give our ancestors they motherfucking props. They got to be 8 people who were striking sticks together. They weren't civilized into the first pharaohs according to these Pan-Africans. The people who built the step pyramids were apes, y'all. I'm not making this up. The timeline that Darwin got, what he got the motherfucking apes written in it, a part of that humanoid creature would have been on the earth during the same time where paleontologists dated the step pyramids, some of these step pyramids. I ain't making this up. You got step pyramids in Cambodia that paleontologists dated back to times where they said we should have been 8 people. Think about it, y'all. They lying and they contradicting themselves. You mean to tell me, according to y'all, During the time the step pyramids were built, it wasn't even the same type of human that would have built that. This is holes in their whole theology right here. This is why Pan-Africans are telling you the step pyramids are primitive. That's what they're telling you. And they're telling you them people didn't get knowledge and evolve to a civilized state until government was created. But when you look at what government did, let me show you something. Government hid the knowledge of free energy behind the religion of the first pharaohs. The pharaonic religions and God consciousness and Horus-based religion. See, what they ain't telling you is that the damn American eagle is Horus. It's the Greek version of Horus. All right? But the science to all of that is on the far left. That's a real electromagnetic energy field or a black hole bending light in the shape of a torus field. And remember, Horus is Taurus. They're hiding the science on the left behind the mythology on the right. So your government is based upon mythology and hiding the knowledge on the left behind the American eagle. What do you mean, Brother Sanchez? Okay, where did your government get their power from? The same place you got yours from when you had the knowledge, by the image on the left. The Jamaicans call him a nutsit, a spider. In America, they call it Spider-Man because he represents what? The red and the blue. That great mother in the bottom right corner, she also take the form of a spider to the Jamaicans. And this, the red and blue that Spider-Man wear is for the red shift and blue shift dealing with negative and positive of magnetism. So the image on the left of a torus field, some cultures drew it out as a beetle, a scarab beetle, a spider. And the itsy bitsy spider on the water spout is the great mother. Since she represents the North Pole or the ethereal water spout, they turned her to a Norse folklore. The itsy bitsy spider is a very old European folklore of explaining cosmology to children. But you niggas don't know that. Where they was teaching them about the North Pole and the Great Mother. In a lot of cultures, they personified that pole energy as a spider. And then it became the itsy bitsy spider water spout type shit. Alright, so let me get on track here because your government get their power from knowledge. What we say, knowledge is power. The knowledge of how to harness the ethereal energies is how they build the foundation of a nation. Yes, idiots. Not the people who woke, but the dumbasses in the back there. You idiots. Okay? The government didn't get their power from protesting and marching like you niggas. They dealing with literal power. You can't have a government without electricity. You can't have an economy. If the fucking lights go off nationwide tomorrow, the whole system will crash. Had you niggas scared during Y2K. See, when you turn that juice off, man, that's the end of it, buddy. When you cut the juice. You niggas is talking about nationhood. So if I gave you a bunch of land, you will have a bunch of niggas in the jungle with no running water, no electricity. Because you don't know that the foundation of government is building an energy grid to fuel and power your fucking government. You niggas think the government is powered by niggas burning coal. It's time to wake the hell up. They've been tapped and reverse engineered the knowledge of how to harness the ethers. Did this in Greco-Egyptian time. So when they created government, there was a need for people to be governed. If the people can't make their own running water and electricity, they need somebody to do it for them now. So again, in order for these first rulers to be saviors, they had to first go around the world burning up the knowledge, burning up the patents, burning up your ancient structures, knocking down the towers of Babel that powered our villages to make us move to their new cities today. So these new cities we live in, like Memphis, and all of these places where they got pyramids, Giza, where you see them rebuilding the ancient world all over the place. All over the place, the ancestors built pyramids to generate energy. When they built energy, when they start to build government, they rebuilt a lot of these ancient sites. It's a matrix because it's their way of saying, we want to control this knowledge in a governmental-based society. It shouldn't be common knowledge for you to just be able to empower yourself. Someone needs to give you power. And that became a God concept of you praying to a God for power. But first they had to tell you you were powerless. You were a sinner. You're an idiot, a wretched fool who are not worthy. You was born imperfect. So now, in order for them to make themselves a savior, it need to be something that need to be fixed, man. If my car ain't broke, I don't need no damn mechanic to come saving me. I don't need no saviors running right, man. See, I got to convince you something fucked up. Right? Create chaos in your mind so I can be the savior. So you're born a sinner. You're born a peasant, right? Because we've created a condition that have put you in a place in society where you can never empower yourself, because every time someone starts talking esoteric science to you, you turn your nose up, think you know everything. So look at here. Let me show you something real quick. Let me pull this out. All right. What we're looking at on the screen is something that the ancestors called the Pyramid of Power. In the Bible, they call it the Tower of Babel. And these gods of the Bible didn't want the people empowering themselves. So they went around destroying all of these ancient towers and cultures so that they could create a new energy grid that they control. Now came the building of the modern cities and nations that we occupy today. We moved away from our ancestral lands. When they destroyed the energy grids, the biblical gods called that uprooting. When you uproot a plant, you don't just snatch it out the ground. To uproot a plant, you pull it in a way where you don't damage the roots either. Because now I may want to replant this in another garden. So if I just break the stem and try to plant it in a new place, it's going to die because you took the roots away. So in landscaping, uprooting is when you want to pull that plant carefully, where you pulled all the roots out the ground with it too, so you can replant it somewhere else. That was the Exodus. That was the Exodus and the uprooting, all right, of us from our ancestral lands. And how you do that is kill the energy. Cut the lights off. And you will smoke their ass right here over into our city. And and what they did, they went around destroying ancient energy systems and building dams all over the place so that water wouldn't run through our ancestral lands no more. So what do they tell you when you go to all these ancestral lands? It used to be running water here. You dumbass, you ain't figured out what happened to the damn running water yet. Have you niggas studied military attacks and the art of war yet? You don't have to go kill a people if you attack their water and energy systems. When you gonna wake up? Everybody going to these ancient sites. You know what, man? It used to be, running water here. But see, when the Anunnaki came, that dried all the running water up. See, when the earth was destroyed by the Anunnaki, Egypt was turned into a desert. You dumb ass. Don't you know there were armies going around building these places, reporting white light? They don't want you to know Imhotep and Narmer.
Crazy, that my nigga.
That shit is why we ain't got no pride.
That nigga was crazy.
2 hours telling you how mighty and how great these pharaohs were.
The gods. They started the government shit over there. In Africa. But I'm gone, man. I'm gone. I'll be back on 5. I gotta find something to run so I can go to sleep on. I'm out here for now. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They took your power, they took your God, and they keep pushing the goal line further and further back. And the goal line you trying to reach, then you running the ball the wrong way. Because when you reach the goal line, guess what you gonna do? Motherfucker, you gonna score for the other team. That's how deep this shit go. Y'all niggas run into a goal line that they don't want you to meet. And if you do fuck around and make the touchdown and reach the goal line, you gonna score for the wrong team. That's how real this shit is, my nigga. I said the truth don't need no help. It ain't gonna bend, break, not fold. I said boom.